Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of the indicator store, and today I want to show you the update of two of our indicators. You may already know the Coral trend, this one that we have here, and the ADX BMA. Both indicators exist on the market, but our release have something different. They have signals, as you can see. Okay, so let's see what you can do, for example, with Coral trend. With Coral trend, for those who don't know, this indicator has two parameters. Okay, the period, let me show this here. With the period, of course, we can make this line to move faster. Okay, so it is following the price action to close, and of course slower. Okay, and let's use an intermediate value, and you can see we are painting signals when the slope change from positive to negative. And we have the constant. The constant is a number between 0 and 1. This will be the maximum. The maximum in scale, because you can set a bigger number, but then the lines goes out of scale, so it even goes beyond the price action. It is like a multiplier. So let's say 1.5 will be out of scale, but it is also creating more signals. Okay, so usually a number between 0 and 1 is okay, but you can see we have signals in the middle of the trend that you can remove by using 0. Okay, very simple. So you have two options, change the period or change the constant D. If you want a lot of signals, you can place a bigger number. 1 will be the average, but you can use something crazy like 3. So as you can see, we get a lot of signals. And then the indicator has plots. As you can see, we have 3 plots. The line, the Coral trend, the signal up, usually non-available unless we have a signal like here or here. And as I explained several times on other videos, with those plots we can automate using a builder or markers. I am going to explain how to automate this with markers. In the other way, in the other chart on the right, we can see the ADX BMA. Okay, this is a very known indicator, and we added signals also. You can see it has long, short, and also exit. Okay, here we have a long. Can you see the plot at the bottom? Here a short. And also we have an optional exit signal. That signal is painted when the market, when the line of the ADX BMA stops trending in the same direction. Okay, so just to make it more clear, when it is going up, we have a long. When stops going up, we have an exit, this signal. And when the slope is big enough to the other side, then we have a short. Okay, so not always the exit signals are at the entry point. For example, here we have an example. We have a short here, closing the short when the bars turns gray, and then we have another short. Now, which are the parameters that control this indicator? just to make to compare this with this, more or less here. No, we have the same from 21 here. Okay, so this is proportional to what we have on both charts. We can get more or less the same signals, just changing the parameters. Let's see the parameters. Here we have the period of the ADX VMA. Currently it is really fast. Okay, so this will be slower. Okay, and also we have the period of the ATR. This is what controls the volatility. The changes are so subtle. There's not too much difference. Okay, can you see a small difference here? So usually we use the default ATR of the last 14 bars, but the sensibility is important because the minimum will be 0. Okay, so we have signals each time there is a trend change. Okay, going up long, going slightly down. And we can see here on this signal that it is slightly going down, so we get a short because the sensibility is set to 0. But we can change that just to see what happens. Let's add 1%, 0.01, and see what happens. Okay, no more short signal, but we have an exit long, long, exit long, no more short signals. Okay, so there was a short, a long, and all the way long to the upside. We can increase this to 0.05, less signals, 0.1, okay, 0.2, I guess we get no signals at all. Yes, probably. Just a few signals. So if you want more signals, divide this by 10. And there you have it. So now you have the option to trade only the entries or also the exits. Okay. Now, how can you do that? Let me try with Coral. So if I want to automate those signals, and if you have markers, okay, you need to remember the settings of the indicator. This indicator has only 2 parameters, so it is simple, 34 and 0. So we go to markers and copy those signals. For example, my long. This is the name of my long signals. But where I am taking that signal? On input series, I need to select the indicator from where I want to copy that signal. For example, this one is the Coral trend here. But we need to place the same parameters. And I just forgot. I guess it was 34 and 0. We can see the parameters here, 34 and 0, yes. And then we need to select the plot. Which plot? Signal up. Okay. And just for checking, marker copy is going to show a little dot where he got the signal copied. Okay, so we can check if when clicking on apply, we get that little dot overlapping the signal of the indicator. I don't know if it is visible, but you can increase the size of the dot like here. And now we are sure that what we copy is what we see, because they are 2 different indicators. This is the copy, this is the real indicator, and they both are doing the same. Long, long, and long. let me place it again here. So now on markers copy, we have the long signals of the coral trend. It can be any indicator, but now we can select that plot, right click and copy, click on another place to unselect, right click and paste. So now we have two long signals, okay? Now we can transform that second copy into a short. For example, my short. And the only thing that we need to change is the plot of the indicator because the parameters are already copied. So signal down. We can also change the color to, for example, red. That means we should see those red dots overlapping those triangles from the indicator, if everything is working fine. And yes, it is working that way. So now we have the signals copied. So now we can add markers. Any marker version. And then we need to type the name of the variables. Go long. No, which was the name? My long and my short. But again, when we copy a signal, we need to specify that we want to use it as a fast signal. Okay? Not the same to copy a variable than to copy a signal. So my long and my short are fast signals that we can use on markers. My long, my short. Okay, we can also specify the daily limits, the time to trade. Even we can specify several time windows. So I want to trade the morning, the afternoon, etc. Okay, currently it is trading 24 hours. And also the entry method. Currently we are entering at market, but you can place a limit order or a stop order above or below the market or following a line. It can be a lot more complicated. And you can see where are you can ask where are the target and the stops. Okay, you need to select an ATM. So open NinjaTrader, select your preferred ATM. It can be even something complicated with two contracts, target number 1, target number 2. So we select this ATM, click here on the markers toolbar, and now markers is ready to detect and execute those signals using this ATM. Only if you enable the longs, enable the shorts, and set this to automatic mode. Okay? So that will be the method to automate the signal of any indicator that has plots when it detects a signal with markers. On other videos, I already explained how to do this with Builder. If you are interested, on another video, I can explain how you can optimize the signals. So which are the best parameters to use? Because when we automate a strategy, we have the parameters of the indicator and also the target and the stop. Which is the best combination? We can use a strategy analyzer for that. Okay, if you have any question or comment, you can contact me on the chat room that we have on Discord. The access is free and the instructions to access are on the description of this video. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.